Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Vida's Wellness Podcast. Today, we have Nishant Garg with us. Nishant is a young, dynamic entrepreneur who is in the business since second generation. He took over the business from his father 4 years back. He has grown the business 20 times ever since he joined it, and in just last 4 years of taking over, he got his company listed on BSC, and now it's Maiden Forgings Limited, and even after getting it listed, he has grown the value of the company by 2 times. I'm so proud to have you, Nishant, today on the show. Welcome and a
Thank you.
very humble thank you for agreeing to coming for the podcast.
Thank you so much for inviting.
So Nishant, at such a young age, how you have been able to achieve so much, starting from being a second generation entrepreneur, working under your father's banner, and then completely taking over the business and like growing it leaps and bounds. How did that happen? Where this comes from?
It basically comes from my father himself. He was himself, very passionate about business and growth. Being first generation, always it is tougher for them, to start from scratch and make the company reach a certain level. Uh, he started in 1990, and post that, I came into business in like 2011-12. So it has been a 12 years journey for me now. So uh, working alongside with him for more or less 11 years or so, uh, I got to learn a lot of things from him. Other than that, there was something, from a very young age. Say, as far as I remember from sixth standard, there was it's a very young age. You are just 11 or 12 years old. So from that time, I had something that, I want to do business. One is like, family is doing business, so I have to continue it. That is just like, okay, I will grow it to certain level. But, seeing my father work day in and day out and, making a drastic change from zero to reaching a certain level. So I used to see that passion, and somewhere it got into me that, if he has grown the company from, say, let's say, zero to a sales of, say, 150 crores or 200 crores. So I have to take it to at least, do it 50 times or 60 times kind of a thing. Then only, even being a second generation entrepreneur, my contributions would also be good, at least decent. If I take it leaps and bounds ahead. So that was always the mindset. And when once I joined the business, however, whatever I imagined for 6, 7 years before that, from sixth standard till my completion of graduation and post graduation, whatever I imagined, because it was so much on my mind always. So I found it even better than what I expected.
Oh, nice.
So I think that's when I came to know that, it is truly my passion.
Hmm.
Okay. Till now, I was just thinking and imagining things. When I'm doing it, I'm enjoying it. That definitely is a signal that, it's your passion. And once I was aware of it, and, I know it's my calling. So I got more and more into it. And the more time is passing by, somewhere, you start finding it like some formula. People say that there is no formula to growth or success, but with time, you try, this is it, and trial, and you try certain things. Okay, and when they succeed, at least you are getting 50-60% success rate every year. Like, you make, let's say, 300 decisions you take in a year, and out of 300, 150 or 200 are proven to be right. So that means,
You've
there is
cracked
a
it.
formula that, yeah, the way you think and the way you take the decisions, so it becomes kind of a formula, which takes a long time to get in rhythm with.
Hmm.
Okay, you can say, people multiple times say that, luck काम कर गया. होता है ना कि इस बंदे का तो लक कर रहा है. तो आई ऑल्सो से कि हाँ, मेरा लक काम कर रहा है, ठीक है, इट्स गुड फॉर यू टू थिंक दैट, बट यू काइंड ऑफ develop a sixth sense in the area of work you are working in, and that sixth sense helps in your decision making.
Hmm. I think the
Intuition.
moment you start going deeper into something in a focused way, your senses
Correct.
becomes sensitive to
more
it
open.
and more
Yes,
open, and then you are more receptive of the ideas that's coming to your
w-
mind because
w-
of the focus.
there are certain researchers that say that only 5% of the brain of human works. I don't know right or wrong, अब कुछ उसकी counter
Even
researches
less
भी आ
than
गई
that,
हैं,
even less than that.
even less than that. So what I think is when you are focusing on something with your conscious as well as subconscious mind is also working on that when you're sleeping and everything. So I think the part of brain that you are not using, that is the 95%, you start using some part of it also to make decisions, and sixth sense is started. That's why sixth sense starts working, because business
Hmm.
is a science as well as an art. So you use those management principles you get to study in 11, 12 standards and MBAs and everywhere. You use those principles while working daily. Along with that, according to the situation when you are focused, you take certain calls, which forms the art part of business. And combination of that starts working very much in sync after a certain point of time. So that's how, so long story short, ultimately you develop that formula for your own. That okay,
Also,
now I have to
Nishant,
take this.
working with someone like your father who started such a business and who grew it to like 150 crores, there would have been a lot of times when he would have passed on some values to you. Would you like to discuss about what are those values that you are carrying forward that your father gave you?
Definitely, there are major two values. He also in multiple platforms. He also used to tell that, and that I learned very well in time from day one, and that is the core principle from which I take each and every decision, be it your daily life. First and foremost is respecting the time, valuing the time, because number one, you are valuing your time as well as other people's time. So you can count it in terms of punctuality, that like you are reaching for each and every meeting on time. You are not wasting other person's time and you are not wasting your time. Okay, so one is punctuality. When I say value the time, and secondly, whatever timelines you are setting for your some project or say sales target, you are targeting like 1 month, 1 year's forecast. So value time in that scenario also, that within a limited time frame I have to complete this task. So first
Ultimately,
is
both the values are about time because that is probably
first
the
first is value of time, and second is commitment. That
commitment,
commitment, like whatever commitments you are making in the business. So these core value, time and commitment.
time and
These are the,
commitment.
yeah, we can evolve as a business. The technology can evolve. You can stay focused and work on that. So time and commitment are two parts. And when I take this package of time and commitment, it automatically translates to discipline and hard work.
Yes, yes.
Every each and every problem, whatever is coming, if you are always focused and working hard and in a disciplined way, that I have to be consistent and do my task every day, the problems would be countered eventually. You don't have to take tension over them. You just need to keep working and you will find a way out. That's one
So
way
you
to
have
go.
been really lucky, Nishan, to get the best of values from your father because he understood that time is the only resource that you cannot buy. Your own time that you cannot buy. You can buy other people's time, but you cannot buy your own time, and it's
True.
going away every single day. And that is the most important resource
Every
that
single
we
second.
use.
Every single second.
Every single second, yes. And
Yeah.
commitment also is a very, very rare thing that we come across in people because commitment is what that keeps us on track, that keeps us consistent, that, gives us those vision and mission that we need to work
True.
on, like keeping it as a North Star. So
True.
amazing value systems you received from your father, and congratulations on that. I would
Yeah.
also like to ask Nishant, you are handling such a large business. It's like listed on, BSE, and now there would be a lot of work involved around this because earlier you were a private limited company when we met first, and now you are a listed company. There's so much work involved and so much pressure because now you're also a public figure. How do you find time for your mental wellness, your physical well-being? How do you manage this all and keep a balance in your life?
Frankly telling, because you have been, like I said, that time and commitment translates to discipline and hard work, right? So when I talk about discipline, for me, from a very young age, what happens is like, waking up early in the morning has been a very important part of my life. So when you wake up early, you definitely get 1 hour or 1.5 hour for your own self. So, what I feel like these days, in my generation, I see most of the people waking up late, like 8, 9 a.m. or something. So, whereas my normal phenomena is that when we were young, like we start going to school in pre-KG, nursery, whatever you want to call it, and for 14 to 15 years, we wake up at 6 a.m. roughly, because you have to go to school at 7 or something. That is the standard school time, right? So we were trained for 15 years to wake up early.
Hmm.
So where do we get spoiled that we start waking up late? Where does that training comes from at a very later stage? Because that's a bad habit, right? So because I have been very much into yoga and spirituality, so not I am not talking about religious or any thinking of that kind. Spirituality purely hardcore. So I have been into that. So I believe, uh, and other than, if you even don't talk about yoga or spirituality, if you wake up in early morning and just go out for even 1 minute, take two deep breaths, the air is kind of different and you feel energetic automatically. That has been the practical experience of mine. So I wake up early. I find 1.5 hour of my own time. Okay, and I take that time to talk to myself. You can say I am doing yoga and light gymming or exercise, but that is the time, that is me time. So
Hmm.
that's when my entire because uh, unfortunately my wife wakes up after 8:30, so that for those 1.5 hour or 2 hours I am all alone. So
Maybe
that is a
fortunately that you
maybe
get that time to
unfortunately or
yourself.
fortunately. So that 1.5 hour or 2 hours of time is me time,
Hmm.
wherein I can talk to myself. I can, clear my mind as to how much work today I have and how I have to, what all work I have to down delegate. I do normally avoid in that time that I think about work or anything. I just think about things around in the world, whatever I like. Okay, so I am talking to myself, and I prepare my next day normally while leaving the office the day before.
Hmm.
That okay, tomorrow I have to do this, that, and the more filled the day is, the more busy the schedule is, I like it even more. Earlier, in earlier days, it used to happen that if you are entering the office and you are troubleshooting, one after another, some or other person is coming, and you are troubleshooting problems. But the problem was that I was not thinking in advance. So that is
Hmm.
why those problems were occurring. But once you start planning for advance and working for what's going to happen 1 month later or 1 year later, then this troubleshooting becomes lesser and lesser every day. So now the situation is such from past 6, 7, 8 months that I have achieved that level that when I come, I do what work I want to do.
Because you
I
are in
focus my
control
mind.
now.
Yeah, I'm very much in control, and that is purely because of finishing my habit of procrastination. Earlier, I used to procrastinate things, and okay, if there is less work, okay, we'll do it tomorrow, maybe day after. It's not important or urgent. But now it has come into my habit that because now my mind is at very much comfort.
Hmm. Because you're giving
Tell,
yourself so much time, you are giving your mind to relax right in the morning and introspect
oh,
yourself. So I think that's helping a lot.
yes, yes,
You
and
also
plus I
mentioned.
have become much more flexible in terms of like work, variety of work. I have understood that being in a position of the leader of the organization, of an organization which is growing, you will your work can never be fixed. Like, I can't fix my timetable exactly that, okay, 9:30 a.m. morning to 10:30 I would be doing this and that, and 10:30 to 11:30 I would be doing this and that. Because, for example, I go today thinking that, okay, from 9:30 to 12:30, I would be focusing on my mind, say, like, I will sit with the finance team and make a way out of for this thing. And suddenly there is a call from, let's say, a very huge customer, potential customer whom I was chasing for, say, 2 months, 3 months, and he suddenly says, you come and meet me. I want to talk to you about something. So you will rather go over there. So you need to have that flexibility. So
Hmm.
your timetable and everything will hamper from time to time. So you need to be adaptive of that and know how to manage things suddenly, like, A to B, how to change your plan, not changing the goal, but changing the plan. You should know very much. So that I have become much more adaptable, and now, things seem easier because I have practiced a lot on that.
So, Nishant, I have two questions. First, I will start with this where we left off. That being able to have that flexibility on your calendar. How did you achieve that? Because most of the time, business owners end up managing and firefighting situations, and they have to get into everything to keep a control on it. How did
Right.
you manage to grow out of it and be able to rely on other people in your business? Because just before our podcast, I was talking to someone who is also a business owner, and he's like, I have to get into everything because things are not moving without me getting into everything. So, this is a problem everybody is facing. Maybe you can share some light on that.
See, it's a very gradual process. Okay, how gradual? First and foremost, like I said, that again, it will come to the core principles. Every answer will come to the core principles of time and commitment. Okay, how? Because once you discipline yourself, for example, I reach office every day at 9 a.m., not 9:05, 9:10, 9:10. It doesn't happen that way. My staff timing is 9:15 to 9:30. They have to reach to the office, and 9:30 is the last, right? So, but I reach office at 9, and everyone knows that. If I am not at office, my entire team would know that if he is not at office, he might have gone to somewhere to meet someone because of official. So they know that I am disciplined.
Hmm.
So it's about leading with example, and whenever you need to have systems in place, like I said, 9:15 to 9:30. I never ever tell my team to sit at office after 6:30. Be it anything, I will never tell them. I avoid calling them post 6:30 in the evening until and unless it's very urgent, and that volume would be, say, once a month. I will give someone a call after 6:30. Okay, but that being said, there is a system in place that, if the time is from 9, the office timing is 9:15, flexibility is till 9:30, but that can't be 9:31.
Hmm.
And I tell that, I am coming at 9, and I am coming at 9 every day. So it's somewhere leading by example, so I don't have to troubleshoot. So everything comes to discipline and the kind of culture you develop over time. Like I said, it's a gradual process. So your system and your own discipline, that will form the culture of organization. That's my belief. That
Hmm.
if the leader himself or herself is adopting policies, and I will give you, I am not being political anywhere. Okay. I don't have any preferences or anything. But the best example, suited example over here is our PM, Narendra Modi. Because he is disciplined, so the cabinet is disciplined, the bureaucracy below him is, getting disciplined. So it's a top-down approach.
Hmm. Hmm.
So same way, running a big organization, a small organization, is just like running a little country. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
well said.
it's top-down approach. That was one part of the system, that why do I don't have to troubleshoot, because the culture has been developed. If I down delegate some work, I give them a deadline along with that. Okay, and my diary is planned in such a way that, post my or my calendar is planned in such a way, okay, that we mutually decide that this job will get done in 1 week from now. So my diary would have that, okay, this person has been, is the, who is the person who has the authority and responsibility for this task, and he or she has given me a 1 week target. So 1 week post that, I will have in my diary that, okay, this task was to be completed by this person. So I won't disturb him or her for 1 week. I will directly ask him or her after 1 week,
Hmm.
because that's for me to monitor or follow up after 1 week in my diary. So
Hmm.
I have a reminder, and I will disturb him or her post that, and he has full access that if he or she is facing, either he or she will get the work done, or if he or she is facing some decision making problem or something, then my doors are open and they can give me a call or they can meet me and let me know on a timely basis that, okay, this is the problem. I will either resolve them or inform them that, normally I have made a practice that whenever you are bringing a problem to me, also please bring in two, three options or
Hmm.
solutions along with that. So that is my common dialogue. And this dialogue started when I started, running the company on my own. Okay, very polite way. I don't scold anyone or, being a hard task master or anything, nothing like that. I just say that, okay, you are giving me a problem also because it's your job. So give me a solution along with that. Okay,
Hmm.
or two, three options at least to choose from. Or if I have a better option, I will give it to you. And luckily, what happens is I am 34. Okay, few of my senior people are 50, 55, 60 also. Okay, so and they have experience in the same line of business for say 30 years. So I normally tell them that I have been into business for 12 years and you have into the line of business for 30 years. And you are the person of say finance, marketing, whatever area of specialization is. The problem is concerning that area. So I think you will have better solution than me. Isn't it? It's a fact. It's not a joke. So I normally say that give me the best option,
Hmm.
whatever it is. I will choose that. I will take the call if you want. But mostly what happened, because I started this practice 3, 4 years back, now they are so well trained that whatever targets I give, that, mutually decided that in 1 week this task will be complete. They complete it and let me know when I ask them in next meeting after 1 week, okay, that this is done. Okay, initially the hurdles would be there that they won't complete the task and not inform you, but when they will know that definitely that, that you are going to ask them after 1 week exactly whatever date is there, they have taken to complete the task. So when you will ask every time on that day exactly, not before that, not after that, so they will know that, okay, monitoring is strong. He remembers it that, when I told to complete the task. So, and they will make a mistake one time, two times, three times, but on the fourth time they will get trained for it.
Hmm.
And 1 year down the line, your systems will start, working on automized way. You just need to maintain your discipline and your diary well, that
Hmm.
when and whom to follow up at what point of time. So I think you won't have to do a lot of troubleshooting.
So this growth mindset, Nishan, that you have, that you have to multiply the company revenues by 50x, 60x times. How do you transmit this growth mindset down the line? Are the company as a culture moving towards a bigger goal? There is some impact or a vision statement that you as a leader are transmitting it down the line. How is the growth coming in the business? Because I'm really intrigued about that.
There are 4, 5 factors behind this. It's I mean, I can miss out a few factors because it's a very, पहले नहीं बता सकता था. अगर आप 4 साल पहले पूछते तो वो तुक्के वाली बात थी कि ऐसा होता है, ऐसा होता है, ऐसा मेरा माइंडसेट था. Because I read many biographies of successful people, because I read lots of self-help books. Okay, traditional Indian, literature also, and Western literature as well. So I formulated certain things. Okay, this thing, these things can impact to, uh, transform the minds of people around you for a growth mindset. Okay, so but now, after doing it for 3, 4 years, and reaching a certain level of success in that area. I can definitely tell you four, five factors. First and foremost, I leverage formal communications as well as informal communications. For example, like we are talking right now, I often make such conversations with my employees, senior level employees also, and as well as junior level employees as and when I get time. When, let's say I'm sitting free for 1.5 hours. So I might call one of my employee for a coffee or tea in my cabin, and I would be talking just like this, that okay. So along with time, they also get that kind of vibe and mindset. Uh, Basically, when you believe that you are the center of everything in not a arrogant way, but you believe that, everything will happen in the direction you want to go.
Hmm.
When you start believing in that, what happens is, and you start communicating that kind of thought to the people around you. So they somehow start getting, they align to those goals themselves. In an informal way, I'm doing that. In the formal way, we normally have a meeting, say, from, I have a strength of around 150 people in my organization right now who are doing this, which is very less as per the industry standard. Like the kind of output we are giving, the 150 strength is very less. Let me tell you one of those bases. And the reason why we are able to deliver that is that in formal way, I do such meetings in every 1.5 month or 2 months time, wherein I very in a clear manner. They are short meetings. They are not very long, boring kind of meetings. They go on for say 20 minutes, maximum 30 minutes, in which I reiterate that this is the goal. If you like, I'm sitting in this office, there is a board right there where I write down myself with a marker that, for this month, these are the targets, and they are the, larger goals, not every minute thing. They are just, it's a
Wow.
small board, and so everyone who is, every member of the team is coming to my office, they are seeing it every time on
Hmm.
automatically. They will have a visual effect psychologically. So one matter is that formal and informal communication. One factor is that how you reiterate those things in their mind again and again. Uh, Second factor, for this growth mindset, the second factor would be you will have to take certain calls and decisions from time to time and achieve them along. Of course, you will take help of the team, but ultimately they have to be decisions that you have taken. For example, we got the company listed last year in the beginning successfully. At that time, 99% of the people were sure that it won't get listed in my team.
I remember we had a
Okay,
lot of call at that time, and
correct.
that
But
intrigue of whether this is happening.
yeah, there
I
are
saw that there was a conviction in your voice when you were talking about it.
true, true. Then before that, like 1 year before that, my father passed away. Okay, and when suddenly in a generational business, when where you are the second generation and you are very young, you are just 32 years old. So what happens is that the market sentiments go wrong, the sentiments of the team go wrong, that whether he would be or able to handle it or not. So in the next 6 months, I improved the company. Of course, I had to get involved like kind of 24/7 at that point of time. Same way in the IPO time, I had to get involved 24/7 for back to back 6 months. Okay. So continuously, when in 2 years, you in 1 year you handle one of the worst situation, then second year you again do something which is impossible as per the team and as per the people around you. So you have to take up such challenges. You have to prove, you have to come out to be a winner in those challenges. Once you build up that kind of image, the third time it like I am also doing this year also I am taking up, like we floated a news 2 3 days back that we are going with a bigger project now, almost the double the size of our current project. We are making up that project, and I have targeted to start it by maximum by October this year. So, okay, third time I'm again taking some challenge which is, very big, huge. So when you do it again and again, okay, automatically the people, the team around you gets motivated that okay, the company is growing at the next level, and you have to cope up with that. And you would be it comes the third factor that once the company is growing, you will also be taken care of, and you will also grow immensely with it.
Hmm.
Everyone wants personal growth. So if the members also feel, part of that community, that, growth, like right now, we people as Indians are very proud that, India is growing, India is shining. Everyone is having that vibe. So,
Hmm.
like I said, that running a company is like running a mini country. So that emotion, that vibe has to be there in the team, and that only the leader can take. That vibe can be created by only him, by facing certain big challenges and overcoming them like a win. So I think these three factors, and there are numerous small factors that, like, how you incentivize your marketing team, how you incentivize your finance team, how you incentivize your production team. Because I am into manufacturing business, so there are three departments, major departments that we have to take care of, and incentivizing team rightly, monetarily as well as psychologically, both ways. Those things need to be taken care of. So these 4 5 factors combined, I think there are numerous other factors which I think when you are in focus and you are into the situation, you realize time to time, okay, this person needs this person needs that.
But
So I
Nishant,
think,
the question here, of course, what you have explained really makes sense. But if I have to ask, like the bigger picture, why does Maiden Forging exist and why should it grow? What is the impact of this business on the society at large?
see, we, when my father started, like I am second generation, right? When my father started, it was a simple sum game that, we have to do a business as a livelihood, and we have to earn money out. Every, big companies say that, we are here to change the world. Of course, with time, when once the person has confidence, like my father started, he had a vision that I have to make it a 700 crore company. He had that kind of situation. Okay. So when he started, the first and foremost thought that any entrepreneur has is that, okay, I have to earn some livelihood, and being in a job would give me, a limited growth opportunity. And in business, you can, there is a famous saying that if you are, you are employed in a job or in a service sector, so you would be earning just for yourself for your entire life. And if you are creating a business, you are, creating something for generations to come. So that kind of thought process is, I think, behind the mind of every entrepreneur that gets into business. So first and foremost is bread and butter. Once you are crossed that, then it comes more kind of why you exist on this world. So it becomes a bigger goal. Like you said, why does Made in exist? So with time, I have realized when I entered the business, because the business was established at a certain level by the time I entered also. Okay. So I didn't have any fight for bread and butter being
Hmm.
in second generation. I didn't ever have it. So my vision was always that, to create a huge company, first and foremost advantage that I saw at that time. I'm not talking about today. I will come to the today's part, why Maiden exists and what is the ultimate, how it will be serving the society. But back then, my thought process was simple that, currently we are employing around 30 35 employees were there overall. Okay, at that time. Today we have 150 employees, and indirectly providing employment to at least 100 more, and further indirectly supporting around 600 or 700 people if we take into consideration the families of those employees,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So that was the basic agenda, that the more we grow, more we would be, doing for more people in India, directly from a business perspective, that, creating of employment. That was the primary thought process. So that's how we can. But once I realized that, you can grow far more than that. You just don't have to keep a limited thinking, like, till this level. So now what it comes to be, like, I have a target, that like my father made a target of 700 crore kind of a company back then. And the reason was very, you can say sentimental for him, because he started working as a banker in Oriental Bank of Commerce in 1982, and his first salary check was 742 rupees. So he wanted to cross 700 crore. So when he used to say 700 crore I will make and Nishant will take it for further 10 times, I said no, 10 times, at least 100 times 70,000 crore. So now that is my target. Honestly speaking, that is my a life target, you can say. So though I don't wish that I should spend my entire lifetime in that, I believe that I should be able to do it in a shorter time and then think further.
Mhm.
No retirement plans, nothing. Further, I would be planning something like how to go further. So for now, 70,000 crore is the plan. Of course, on the way, it will generate employment for many. That is one way how it will be catering to society. Other than that, now coming to the even bigger picture, uh, we want to do something which helps in the nation building first and foremost. Okay, we are innovating in terms of, like there is lots of scope in integrating these traditional MSME businesses with tech, because that is the next revolution that is happening. We can't see it in abundance right now,
Hmm.
but that is going to be the future. So how we can, make Indian companies more linked to it in a faster manner, so that we are something ahead of the global companies, companies from other nations. So one target is that's how we can contribute to the national growth while contributing to the maiden's growth story. We can still contribute in this way. Plus, like I said, that once we achieve that 70,000 crore kind of figure, on the way of achieving that, it's all about the journey. On the way of achieving it, we would be definitely, not just because of the CSR compliance angle, but on the whole, we would be able to give a lot of advantages to the weaker sections of society, and to the poorer section of society. As a you can say, when we are growing along with our growth, we would be definitely contributing to society a lot.
Hmm.
That's my personal, as a, because I am, it's in the ethics of the company by now. My father also had that kind of a thinking, and those values still imbibe. So when once you are making something big, huge, when you are trying to create something huge, definitely from that position you can, contribute to society in a larger way. That's my thing.
Yeah.
So that's how Maiden is going to be ultimately, contributing to the society in totality.
Wow.
Because
Wow,
it's not
that's profound.
any more about bread, butter, or minute luxuries of life. It's more about uh, something a bigger vision,
Yeah. Building nation. Great.
while contributing to society. Right.
Great. And one last question, Nishant. I mentioned that I will ask you two questions. This last question is about what is your meaning of spirituality? What does spirituality mean to you? And how does it impact your business?
Spirituality is, see, like, uh, you know, you will always require a direction in your life. Okay. Uh, I don't know. I mean, I am 34. I will turn 35 next year, and then 40. Every 5 years, I believe a person becomes much more mature. He thinks so that, I am like when I was in my 20s, later 20s. As soon as I turned 30s, I lots of my thought processes changed. Okay, so after 30s, there was kind of a existential crisis for me. Like I said, that it was not a fight of bread and butter. It was not a fight of having luxuries in life, but it was more of fight that, I have turned 30, I have a kid now, I have a wife, I have a family, everything is good. So now next, what next? Going to office every day and, working. So you require a purpose uh, in life, and a target in life, a goal in life, and then only you can create something successful. So I, follow one very famous Swami Vivekanand quote that's there on my board always. Okay, so for like I recalibrated myself 3, 4 years back. So back then I wrote this quote, and because I liked it a lot. So it is like I am just reading it out. Take up one idea, make that one idea your life, dream of it, think of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, the body, muscles, nerves, and every part of your body be full of that idea. This is the way, and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success, and this is the way spiritual giants are produced. So this is by Swami Vivekanand.
Wow. Wow.
So I find that
Profound.
once you have that, you don't find waking up early without an alarm difficult. You wake up with positive thoughts rather than negative thoughts. You wake up with thoughts that what is to be done, not what can happen. You wake up with the thought of what is to be done. You sleep with the thought that what is to be done next. And a short-term goal and a long-term goal is always there in your mind. So living life becomes very much happy. And I think this will create something by the end of my life that I would be happy that okay, I have contributed a lot, the best I can. So I think that is a spirit, that is a spirituality for me, that if you are feeling happy doing what you are doing.
Yeah.
So I think that's the ultimate goal. Like
Wow.
I think since you started working on your podcast and the new line on, you were a valuer and CA, right? So you are working on a digital platform. So I believe I have also seen changes in you, that you are happier since you started doing this. So I think doing what you like to do and feeling happy about it every day. I think that's spirituality for me.
Yeah, and I think it a lot of it comes from your purpose. And if you are aligned to
Definitely.
that, I think that is spirituality for me. If I know that what my purpose is here, what I need to serve, and if I'm aligned to that, I am being spiritual. So I
True.
think I understand where you are coming from.
All right. All right.
Thank you so much, Nishant, for your time today. It was great talking to you, and I'm sure all young entrepreneurs who would be watching this today would have a lot to take away from this podcast, and it would add value to their life. And thank you so much once again for your time.
Thank you, Neetu, and a great initiative. And I wish to see more of your podcasts too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a
Thank you.
great day.